Spanish churches in the Philippines. At the point when in 1521 Magellan lands on Cebu, additionally ministers are in his entourage. The transformation to Christianity is one of the fundamental goals of the victors other than the generally unsuccessful abuse of the nation's crude materials. Bajo de las campanas, the locals must be taken under the ringers. Cleric and ministers are in requirement for spots for their religious gatherings. The main facilities are very unassuming wood or bamboo hovels with straw or nipa palm rooftops, facitas. A few ministers know forcing Mexican Rococo holy places, either genuine or by delineation. However, why would it be advisable for them to contribute more? The monetary assets are extremely constrained, the political circumstance still insecure, Moro assaults, Portuguese regional cases, and what's more, the end times and the landing of the Lord is normal once more. The principal houses of prayer made of wood are based on Cebu, Bohol, Masbate and Manila somewhere around 1565 and 1571. Their worldly grouping is a tiny bit unverifiable in light of the fact that in such time, no signposts illuminate about the year of development and the documentation of the congregation still stands at their beginnings. In the accompanying period, the early sick timber houses of prayer get to be run down or are supplanted by stone chapels. The development of stone houses of worship, florid structure and style components. The development of stone houses of worship starting 1571 with the foundation of the Pilgrim administration by Legazpi. The engineering style is orientated on the Spanish or Mexican ornate. The primary expert developers and artisans are fundamentally originating from Mexico. That is not astonishing on the grounds that the colonization begins from Mexico. Generally speaking, we discover the following Rococo structure components. Structure lengthways of the plaza region, the spot focus with chapel, vicarage, convento, and layman burial ground well as a bell tower. The strengthened tower is frequently disconnected from the primary building, serves likewise as watchtower and gadget for the correspondence of the tenants' passageway lobby, vestibule, low church nave and haven. The development of places of worship needs to consider the exceptional states of the nation, regular fiascos, hurricanes and tremors, common disasters, tropical climate, rottenness, and termite assaults, and also human obliterations, privateer assaults, blazes. That is the motivation behind why the Philippine church compositional style, which once in a while helps additionally to remember medieval resisting manners or strongholds, got the name Quake Baroque. The Philippine tremor Baroque is because of these particular contemplations and varieties, not just an exposed literary theft of Spanish florid places of worship. Enhancement by Asian Moorish style components. Besides, the mix of Chinese and Muslim structures and style components is a trademark highlight of the early church building. In the first place, the Filipinos are unpracticed in the development of stone structures. Just the south of the nation knows fortifications of the Moros. The Christian ministers in this way approach the assistance of Chinese and Muslim expert developers and artisans. Chinese impact is shown for instance by red air-dried blocks which were delivered from a blend of coral lime and/or topsoil and sugar stick juice. Rock lions as watchman figures in the forecourt of the congregation, e.g. San Agustin Church in Man, and also a pagoda-like bell tower, e.g. Paoay Church, Ilocos. Qualities for Moorish Islamic style components are profoundly chiseled alleviation carvings of facades and inside, flame broils and balustrade, minaret-like bell tower, 3 international ID twists and geometric structures. There are reports about mandatorily enlistments of Philippine development specialists. Frequently they are in charge of the cutting, transport and preparing of the huge tree trunks, which get to be church sections. Most established church? There was a debate a while prior, which stone church is the most established one in the Philippines. Especially the Baclayan Church on the island of Bohol and the San Agustin Church, Manila, Intramuros, were under discourse. To begin with, it was gathered that the Baclayan Church is the most established one, in light of the fact that a sign on the facade demonstrated the year 1595. The tourism business on Bohol was extremely glad about this sign. Nonetheless, later examinations found this sign has been joined impressively later. At this point, church students of history found in the San Agustin Church, Intramuros, an establishment stone from the year 1571 and this date as 25 years sooner than the indication of Baclayan. Along these lines, the honor of being the most seasoned stone church in the Philippines is because of San Agustin. Some describers are composing a tad bit sincerely and maybe untrue that it is the mother of all Philippine houses of worship. Social treasures. The San Agustin Church has opposed subsequent to the 16th century all seismic tremors and later World War devastations, particularly by its bended thick establishment and inside braces. By the today fabricated as likewise a consequence of keeping rebuilding and remodels. In the principle, the greater part of old Philippine houses of worship have passed a consistent procedure of reconstructing, conservations, developments, redesigns, embellishments, and in this procedure likewise more up-to-date style headings, e.g. Neo-Gothic, Ionic, Corinthian-style components, were coordinated. In a negative sense, it is every now and again a varied pseudo-florid. In positive sense, we can likewise discuss a novel combination of various European Asian development styles from various ages taking into account Spanish extravagant. Following 1972, 26 old places of worship have been pronounced as national social fortunes. The accompanying houses of worship are having a place with these 26 chapels worth of further assurance. Baking, Negros Oriental, Balayan, Batangas, Betis, Pampanga, Boljoan, Cebu, Calasiao, Pangasinan, Dupax, Nueva Vizcaya, Giwan, Samar, Jason, Misamis Oriental, Jimenez, Misamis Occidental, Lazy, Siquijor, Labac, Bohol, Luna, La Union, Mahatao, Batanes, Magsingal, Ilocos Sur, Majayjay, Laguna, Aragondan, Cavite, Masinloc, Zambales, Panay, Capiz, Romblon, Rizal, Cagayan, San Joaquin, Iloilo, Tabaco, Albay, Tanay, Rizal, Tayabas, Quezon, Tayum, Abra, and Tumaoini, Isabela. What's more, not just the Tubataha Reef, the rice terraces of Banawe, the authentic old town of Vigan and the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park is a piece of the world social legacy shouted by the UNESCO. 4 places of worship in the Philippines are additionally viewed as exceptional and of widespread quality. These are the places of worship. San Agustin in Paoay, Ilocos Norte. Nuestra Señora de la Asunción in Santa Maria, Ilocos Sur. San Agustin in Intramuros, Manila. Also, the Congregation San Francisco de Villanueva in Miagao, Iloilo. Each of the chapels said above is justified regardless of an extraordinary thought, and each choice is subjective. We have chosen to give our consideration regarding the holy places in Paoay and Miagao, especially due to their verifiably one-of-a-kind old substance. The Miagao Church on the island of Panay. The district of Miagao lies around 40 kilometers toward the southwest of Iloilo downtown area, the capital of the island of Panay. The development of the congregation was under the administration of Augustinian friars, and the working up required over 10 years, 1786 to 1797. Highlight of the yellow sandstone church is the rich ornamented facade. It is remarkable in Asia with its botanical Aztec such as beautifications. Stone workers etched profoundly adornments in the blocks to achieve a plastic impression. We perceive in the oval round the figure of Saint Thomas, the supporter holy person of Miagao. More above in the pediment we discover Saint Christopher dressed like a Filipino agriculturist with trousers moved up. He conveys the Christ youngster on his back, and Philippine fauna and greenery, coconut palms, papaya and guava trees, encompass him. Albrecht G. Schaefer, too, deciphers the photo of Saint Christopher maybe a tiny bit humorously as takes after. The great teacher conveys the genuine confidence to the pagan Filipinos in the tropics world. 2 non-symmetrical towers stay and secure the front facade. They are extremely gigantic in the lower parts and after that decreasing upwards, and served as watchtower against Muslim infringements in the meantime. Why are they not symmetrical? The clarification is basic. After the demise of the principal expert developer, the second ace manufacturer would not have liked to take after the configuration of his antecedent. Additionally, this religious building has on its sides strong supports, which are so run-of-the-mill for the seismic tremor Baroque. Underground strolls associated the congregation with the district. We specified as of now that the congregation has a place with the UNESCO Social Legacy. The PAOAY Church in Ilocos Norte. PAOAY Church in Ilocos Norte. PAOAY Church. Under the administration of the Augustinian minister Antonio Estevian, the development of this, a Javanese sanctuary reminding, great church began in 1694. The arrangement was to set up a tremor conformation and at the same time forcing working in the style of the seismic tremor Baroque. In 1710, the magnificent noteworthy church was finished, in any case, as of now in 1793 restored and recently devoted in 1896 as Chapel of St. Agustin. Coral stones were utilized for the working of the upper parts, blocks for the upper levels. To the mortar was included sugar stick juice and once in a while cowhide stripes to expand the strength of the building. The facade demonstrates a vertical structure by 4 divider sections. It is on a level plane subdivided by edges, which likewise circle the braces. We discover decreasing turrets at the highest point of the building. A creator defined, they are brushing the sky and they are lifting the greatness of the building. A few figures and alleviation models, blooms, snails, cherubim and the Augustine's escutcheon are found in the upper part of the facade. The 26 strong columns are marvelous. They reach in their broadness a large portion of the length of the nave and are embellished with snails, flower examples, and show turrets in like manner. Column stairs with rather high steps ought to permit the entrance to the rooftop, which was initially secured with straw. Another component is the enormous bell tower. It is 35 meters high and the dividers have a thickness of 1 meter. It remains around 100 meters remote from the congregation and offers an incredible perspective over the nation. The Katipuneros, rebelling against the Spanish provincial administration, utilized it as a watchtower. Climbing the bell tower is verging on like backtracking in the time, composes Roger Gaspar. It is accounted for that because of its weight it is steadily sinking more profound into the ground. Before, riders still have ridden by the tower door. Today that is by all accounts unthinkable. The congregation entryway is furnished with a fashioned iron filigree design. Going inside we see an exceptionally basic, if not in any case bleak, church inside with some holy person pictures and a basic wooden holy place cross. Initially, the nave had a painted wood roof. It was evacuated in before time and today just rafters and a rusting rooftop can be seen. Without a doubt, the PAOAY church was disregarded in the past as to its chronicled substance. This turns out to be additionally apparent by the solid green and shrub vegetation, which can be found in current productions. Be that as it may, after the congregation was announced as World Cultural Heritage, initial steps for the safeguarding of the congregation have been beginning in 2000. The inventory of estimations incorporates in addition to other things a seismic skill, tear and stone patching and cleaning works, i.e. the evacuation of vegetation. On account of conceivable blackouts the activity is presently occupied adjacent the congregation, as well. These comments conveys us to the general inquiry regarding the current situation with safeguarding and rebuilding of the old places of worship in the nation. Colossal rebuilding and protection exertion. Old structures are presented to numerous ruinous impacts. Wood gets weak, is drooping and water logging, shapes tears, gets to be decayed and is influenced by termites or mold. Stone material can break out, structure tears, draw water, separate salts, lose the shading or get to be congested by vegetation. Glass breaks and metals rust or stain. The shades of the divider artworks for instance are dyed, drop off, experience the ill effects of mushroom assault or tend in like manner to tears. On the off chance that no rationing measures are taken, clear characteristics of the dismal decrepitude can be seen, as for the situation the PAOAY church. The harms are from one perspective brought about by nature. Especially the compelling, damp warmth of the nation as a hurting calculate other than characteristic debacles such as tremors, surges and hurricanes. Then again, additionally man is in charge of the annihilation of the structures. We need just to list the watchwords, air contamination, vibrations, war, vandalism or lack of concern. There is an expansive accord in the nation that the old chapels are for the most part in tragic conditions. Once in a while it feels if our places of worship were under attack, pronounced says Augusto Villalon in his article Show Mercy Toward Our Houses of Worship. Most likely, the old places of worship are additionally images of an administratively secured expansionism. However, even strict commentators of the Spanish imperialism achieve an understanding in the evaluation that the old Spanish chapels fit in with the recorded social fortunes of the Philippines and need insurance. Money-related challenges, obliviousness and carelessness on the district level frequently forestall measures of protection. Maybe we ought to place ourselves in the part of a sober-minded minister, which has no extraordinary relationship to the history and who needs to mull over each penny in his poor ward. Why not uprooting the old uncomfortable church seats if an honorable benefactor offers new cutting-edge seats with his nameplate? Why dismissing an offered plastic Madonna if the area is getting a gift? The old floor squeaks, why declining offered shoddy tiles? Besides, is the old light not all that terrible that neon lights would be a decent option? Why not including a shed for the adolescent gathering? Who still needs to lecture from a lectern, and does the choir truly still needs a display? Did not the antique merchant offer a bigger entirety of cash the old rancid statue of Maria? The congregation range is roomy, why not giving a fast food shop the consent of settling? Cash has no odor, and maybe the congregation is then more appealing for youthful people groups? What are more critical, pressing needs or an affirmed workmanship? You see, likewise Philistine ministers can have contentions. In the meantime, there are more reports on expanding craftsmanship burglary additionally in places of worship. Trixie Angeles, executive of the Philippine Heritage Conservation Society, told, "We are losing 2 holders' vans of our social fortunes every day from the island of Bohol alone." 5. Religious faction articles are incorporated into the burglaries. Ministers, as in Majayjay, as of now protect valuable relics behind unattractive bars. Some wards have effectively chosen to store profitable items dar at focal spots and to leave just recreates to the places of worship. It appears that all measures which attempting to build up the early unique state, if there are still memorable records, are generally costly. All measures, which serve, by utilizing current, monetary materials, just the protection of business as usual, the adornment or a superior working, are less expensive. Maybe in time of Spanish expansionism with its solidarity of state and church and illustrious support subsidizes, the financing of chapel structures was less demanding. Later the American intruders brought the partition from state and church in the nation, with the outcome that the Catholic Church of the Philippines is at first in charge of the upkeep and repairs in the places of worship. By the by, since the season of Marcos, the legislatures feel likewise mindful the protection, and they are giving institutional and money-related backings. Might be that there are as of now in excess of organizations taking administer to the preservation: Roman Catholic Church, National Historical Institute, NHI, National Museum, National Commission for Culture and the Arts, NCCA. Numerous foundations, numerous tedious conferences. Similarly, as we can see it up to the year 2003, the protection endeavors concerning the 26 valuable chapels are in progress. In any case, they are generally still in the period of estimations. Attainability concentrates on cleaning and de-weeding and tend to protect and to decorate just business as usual. The assistance of the remote nations would likewise be attractive to experience the further decrepitude of the old bastions of the Roman Catholic confidence in the Philippines. Thanks for watching. Don't forget subscribe to this channel.